When I went to Augustus Saul Invictus's office, it appeared to have been rapidly redone, and they never heard of him, which is fine. I just want to beyond a shadow of a doubt, you don't want to talk to me. It's whatever guarantees you think you have. If it wasn't intended for you, it's not going to work, because it's basically just like, if you're too dumb to recognize a staged event in a condemned mobile home, what's your point? 2 planes minus 3 towers and a paper park? Like, I'm so sorry, and get a good first impression. Imagine my surprise. I was just out there trying to make sure everything was alright, and I lost a lot of money in the process. I'm not crossing that bridge just, to validate whatever illusion you gambled on. Trump's the one with the big bad bets. It looks like I have benefited in any way. The experiment failed. Right? 7 years ago. As far as immunity, like Epstein, I don't even know who that was. My protection right now. So you're raping Colombians, Irish, whole Italian construction companies. So the Nazis have been planning this for 80 years. Started picking German kids out of my yearbook. This is communists. He was in on it. Who is going to make us try to pay for 2 planes minus 3 towers and a paper fire? Does it sound like something a greedy businessman would do? I believe the place with the doctor asking stupid questions and calling me a liar has since changed hands, but we'll dig it up. As long as all you want is what's right and fair and best for everybody, we'll be fine. I don't know if you caught the part where Facebook, the platform, not the people on Facebook, sent me to an exfil, and I get there and I'm waiting, and I finally give up and I go back, and they sent an Uber to the wrong location. That is the degree, this is the caliber of the enemy we face. Yeah, I was all alone, except for the guy who let me in. I'm trying to remember what he looked like. I didn't suffer all these years the way I have, clinging to my oath to just take up the cocaine trade because you ripped off the Pentagon and the Vatican. I said a lot of things on Facebook. It's a consequence of going around and telling everybody, going around lying about somebody, and I had no idea what any of it was about. So now that I know, you want to get pushing? My name is Noel D. Smith. Single, straight, no kids, never married. No divorces, no abortions, no abominations, no bankruptcies. Formerly decorated so-and-so with the yada yada, etc. and so forth and so on. Triage, airframe, theology. PC enthusiast, I guess. I don't know, power user, whatever, but hacker? No. There's been a terrible misunderstanding, so I can't find anyone reasonable. I should have been allowed to wrap all this up 7 years ago. Instead, you thought we were making some kind of deal? Thought we were negotiating? When I said it was Facebook, I definitely meant the platform, not the people on Facebook. Looking for who told me. Who told me what? Out of all that. Right, so the people going around making it true, acting like they're going to have some kind of insider, they're not with me. You've seen what I've sent the FBI so far, I presume? That's fine. If Boston doesn't get it, figure New Jersey will get it. I'm a Jackson. That's why the Canadians targeted me. They're not playing by any kind of rules. One does not arrange some kind of deal with my queen, absent church or state, and expect me to, know what the hell you're talking about. Trump got 7 bankruptcies. We're not affiliated. I know how to deactivate the doomsday device. Okay? You know what else that means? Saying drank the Kool-Aid case. First, I shall do no harm. Then I rewrote the IRS rules. I have projects worth more than your whole goddamn operation. I'll tell you, like I told Elon, I will do whatever is within my power to help your people, with or without you. Immunity fled the field in 2016 before I went around trying to turn this thing, save American lives, and Israeli, and hell, even Canadian. Why not? Punch Rick Moranis. So what would be the motive for anyone continuing this farce? The Arabs are giving away gold bars in the airport. You're fugitives, right? Your honors of the Supreme Court, I've been made aware that there appear to be petty local county judges impersonating you online. And considering that in large part your assertion is backed in lifetime appointment, I would possibly interpret that as a threat, because they act stupid. I never snitched on the Italians. The only time I called the cops before I got here was next door neighbor terrorizing his kids, drunk girl beating down my bedroom door. Called him on homeboy for threatening my mom and stuff. But that whole thing was pretty convenient. So the United States has been using their space program to enforce for a Martian colony for years, because I didn't lie to my mom. And I went back to my unit. So it's a convenient interpretation based on somebody raping a 7-year-old boy, blaming the Italians, lying to the Scots, which, I mean, whatever, Scotland, you could definitely do something. The Germans, I mean, the German Catholic that got poisoned and crippled intentionally after I left, based on the presumption they could later link it somehow, Barbie. I mean, I ain't really going for it. That's who ran the setup, but not my money, not my blow. Isolated incident. More worried about why they're doing it, who they're doing it for. Somebody who's ripping off the Vatican too. Saudi's been twisting the Vatican's arm since JP2. You're suckers. You've been conned into going in along with this thing, and if you had a brain and you share it between you, these prisons are obviously illegal. You got all those resources, so you want to take us down. Why? What could possibly be? It's not just because China's communist at the moment, because you're disgusting. You're ridiculous. And I know it was ugly, but I don't know. I just gave up. Yeah. One day, somebody tried to kill me, and I was like, really? You gonna play? I didn't know what was going on. I didn't want too much collateral, so mom's a word, but I hope it's not the CIA. But the Homeland's got this whole paradigm, the zeitgeist they've been working on. Yeah, no, we're not affiliated. Like, I get it, I understand. You're not just going to come here and shut down the government on behalf of the Martians and act like I owe you something. I owe you 2 planes minus 3 towers forever. The Israelis, the Russians. Okay, Facebook, Zuck. I never willingly filed a false report. I reported a theft, which is true. They happen to interpret it another way because they may or may not have been in on it. Suffice to say, I'm not going around filing false reports. The terroristic threat is a domestic threat of death. I'm gonna shoot you. Doesn't seem a little convenient. Ever witness against the cops? Arizona, through IA. How you're supposed to do it? It's a dangerous job. Otherwise, I've had homos and Canadians following me around. I didn't even know. Doctors told me it was all in my head. And then they went and started suing people and keeping the money. So what are you telling me? My riches are great in heaven? Telling me if I stop saying District of Columbine, So the Nazis have been planning this for 80 years. And I could have explained, but I sure didn't witness. Turns out the United Nations is a platform for the Reich, not the Germans, the Reich. Doesn't have to be Germans every time. France was the first Reich. Figure, before I roll over for the Canadians to roll out the red carpet for the Haitians, I will make sure that the Italians and the Israelis understand my observations. I don't need immunity. I'm trying to do the right thing for our boys, which is not picking a fight with everybody, going around raping your way through the desert, and then you put it on Blackwater without a trial. You voted about it. Got some sucker to just sign it. I was in the same county where the alleged incident occurred for about a couple years. Did they try to balance things that, figure out what actually happened, confront me? No. Try to make it into something. I did not evade prosecution. I evaded stupidity. I mean, I didn't want to call it a setup at the time, but now that I understand, I had to whack a couple of my childhood friends before I got there to make sure Christie would have a study linking heroin to cannabis to give to Donald Trump before he was elected. Yeah, there weren't no trades or anything. It was supposed to be a campaign fund, right? My campaign fund? Like, I could just go be on TV like Trump and I can inherit this bullshit, ripping off Blackwater and the Israelis. Probably be better off just, see what I'm saying? Like, America, it's been a long time since America did anything right overseas. And I think maybe the powers that be are in on that, because Korea, Civil War, World War I, World War II, skip ahead, Korea, United Nations, founded to prevent World War III. It's like the eternal caliphate. Always does. This is no way to lead humanity to the future. I say I don't claim to know God's plan. I just know it was written in Greek, because I believe in an omnipotent and eternal God. It's not some bird-wristed academic in a lab coat raising an army of test-tube Canadian babies. I don't know how much you're in for, Augusta. Figure you liquidated my Doppler array. I bet you do have some kind of complaints, huh? What does National Security Administration, what do they do, everybody? Protect the country from foreign threats? Like a 3-year-old Jackson that stomped on an 8-year-old Trump's face when he had it coming? Soviet Protestant, the Irish kids, the foreign threat? Might not have been them, Your Honors. It's been just homos and fucking retards for 40 years. Benefit of the doubt. It's not the phone sabotage company 7 minutes down the road from the brick and mortar Holocaust Medical Center. mfrodeo.blogspot.com. First, there shall do no harm. And then, one utility van might not be enough.